Welcome to the 24 month challenge on Newbie Farm. This is my, I was going to say entry, but it isn't really a public competition like that. It's a bit of fun between us, our members of PCSG and the Free Dudes Gaming Network, and quite a few of the members of both. And if you want good places to go, I can highly recommend both. But I'm doing it on Newbie Farm by Cavalier Roy. Roy makes this map every new issue of Farming Sim, and I'm just checking up here. I'm going to do a voiceover on these because I'm going to do a lot of editing of the video. Not so much on this one. There's only about 3 bits of video on here, 3 or 4 bits. But in later ones, I'll be dipping in for a couple of days per video, couple of 3 days per video, so I'll be dipping in and out of what we're doing. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat now. This is the second attempt of doing the soundtrack to this. First time Rosie, one of our cats, decided to be sick, so that stopped me dead for. And I realised that once I pause my audio recorder, it doesn't like starting up again in the same place. It wants to start afresh, so I had to restart. Right, the story. This is the 1980s, a time where big change was about to come on to farming. It's not too bad at the moment. We've still got the milk marketing board, we've still got intervention, so it means that milk price, you fairly well know how much you're going to get for your milk from one year to the next. And I was fairly close to hitting that tree, and I think you noticed I just missed it. I hope you noticed that. I know you're not used to me missing things, I normally hit them. And intervention, of course, was the way I've mentioned there was a minimum price for grain. I think I might have hit it there, but you didn't see that. So you're certain too of a minimum price you're going to get for your grain, your wheat, your barley, mainly wheat and barley. Other crops were involved, but they were the big ones for British farmers. And what it meant, if the world price had dropped below the intervention price, the EU would come in, buy the grain up, put it into big stores, and then sell it off later. So it meant that you got the minimum intervention price, which I can tell you now, I worked in malting at the time, and it usually meant then that top quality malting barley was going for somewhere around £180 a tonne. Intervention went out and it dropped to around £100 a tonne, and sometimes under that. It was going up again by the time I finished. It about 125, 135 by the time I finished. Was that about 5-6 years ago now? Yeah, so I have, I do know a little bit about that side of it, especially on barley. That's the one thing too that this game has slightly wrong. In Britain, I'm not certain about the rest of the world, but in Britain, the big money is on wheat, and barley is normally about, well, malting barley is normally about £20 or £30 a tonne less than top quality milling wheat. Feed wheat is normally about 60 to 80. Feed barley is normally 60 to £80 a tonne. This is pre the, or was intervention was still in place, £60-80 a tonne under wheat prices. Just to give you some idea. Right, now, also what was happening around this time was the big battalions. The insurance companies had a lot of money to get rid of, and they were investing in farms. They were buying up farms, and they were making ginormous farms. They were really big concerns. So I was farming with my nephew Jack, who's in the 200C over there. He's doing the ploughing. playing the mucking. I was farming with Jack, and we were tenant farmers. Or I was the tenant and Jack was just worked for me. Yeah. You got to keep it in the family, you know how it is. Anyway, our farm and the next farm, which were owned by the same landlord, and he wanted to go out of the farmland. It wasn't making the money he wanted. He could do far better with some of his other business interests, so he was going to sell to the big insurance companies, and they were going to buy both the farms. He offered us the farm, but well, I say offered us the farm. He offered us both farms. We had to buy all or nothing. There's no way we could afford to buy both of them, so we reluctantly had to leave. I hunted around for. This was mid to late autumn. We just got the harvest in, which was lucky. I hunted around and I found this farm to the west of us, quite a way to the west of us. And this was part of a large estate, a large country estate. The estate owners wanted to get out of the business of farming, but they were willing to listen to me wanting to buy part of the farm. Well, what I'd done is I bought the farmhouse, I bought the yard, plus the cow pastures and shed, the pigs pasture and shed, and the sheep pasture and shed, and also the chicken area. I bought those. Also, I had enough money to buy 3 other fields, and that was about it. They were okay with that, and they also gave me first refusal on the other fields around here. They want to get out, as I say, but they also want the land to go to a farmer. It's just lucky for me. And lo, who out of you lot would call me a farmer? Now I thought so, not many of you. So that's the story. By the way, a lot of this is the 80s. There is some newer equipment. If you see the newer equipment, you're not seeing it. You are hallucinating. It's not there. It's you, not me. It's definitely not there. And I don't care what you say. Right, so I had to get all my equipment out from Norfolk to the west, and say about 100 miles to the west. Not easy. I couldn't really drive back and forwards with it attached to tractors, and I couldn't afford to have transporters. But I did have a lot of friends with lorries who were moving goods around the country, and if they were moving towards this area empty to pick a load up, I was shoving a plough on the back of the lorry, a cultivator, seeder, almost anything I could on the back, and they would cart across with me. Well, I never ran out of favours with those. I know all them old stuff, and then will come back and bite me later. And I've been here since early winter, and I've been here with the tractors pulling the stuff from wherever they dropped it off back to the farm. We sold all the pigs that we had on the Norfolk farm, all the sheep, and half the cattle. So I brought 50 of the best cattle with me. I had to pay for them to come across, of course, in a proper animal transporter. But the company done it cheap for me. Yes, I'd done quite a bit of business with them in the past, and they were quite happy to give me a special price. Well, they call it special. I think what it meant was it was not as much as they said it was going to be, but still more than they charged most other people. But that's another matter. So we have 50 cows here. The estate actually were kind enough to leave some straw and hay bales on the farm so I can keep the cows fed. Not brilliantly fed, but they are fed. If you look up at the top left hand corner, you see the productivity is only 28%. There's not a lot I can do about that until we get some grass growing, and that's what we need. Need grass, because I have a bale wrapper in amongst my souvenirs I brought over here. and we will be making silage bales, but that's going to take a month or two for the silage to ferment, or the grass to ferment in the silage, course. And I have my old mix feeder here. Badly need a wash, but I ain't going to get one. I wasn't certain whether Jack was going to come with me, but he seemed happy enough too. He's got not a lot to do in Norfolk. He could have worked for the big new owners, but actually as a foreman of all things, at his age, and he's no age at all. But he didn't want that. He didn't want to work for the big boys. He wanted to have a real stake in the farm. And it will be his when I finally retire, which ain't going to be for several years yet. I hope. As you can see, I'm making a typical Merman type job of this here field. I'm missing big chunks out. And I think in the video, this is where I just realised I missed a whole load out. So back we go to clear some of this, get some of this cultivated in. Yes, we'll probably compact, especially we've got skinny tyres on this. I couldn't be bothered to go and change over to the fat tyres at the moment. So it's still 9:30 in the morning. We're running 15 times, by the way, so time will fly through. And I have to thank Cavalier Roy too, and I will do this early on, cause just in case he gets bored by this before he gets to this stage. I want to thank him for allowing me to make whatever alterations I feel I need to the map, and he's given me full blessing. Thank you, Roy. I don't think I'll be doing any more, because you know you may not know if you haven't watched the preview. I have taken seed off the farm, fertiliser off the farm, and the pool point of the farm, and we have got to go and collect all of those. Luckily the shop isn't far away, and I think Jack's getting on like a trooper. He's using about a 2 metre plough, and I've got a 2.2 metre cultivator. I like having big equipment. And other thing is, and someone's going to mention it, I will be using GPS at times. Even though this was way before GPS was invented. But I don't care. I'm going to use GPS. Well, if this tractor can have a digital display, I'm going to have GPS. So there, so. That told you. This is not going to be a realistic series. This is going to be a for fun series. My realistic one is mainly blickling, or as close as I can get to realistic is blickling. This is for fun, pure and simple. Fun for me, and hopefully some of you will enjoy it. I hope so, because I don't really want to waste my time making it and no one wants to watch it. That's one thing I do hate about farming sim. I wish when they put the flashes up for sales or great demands, it didn't stop everything on the screen. It doesn't stop the auto stuff, but it stops the manual stuff. Oh, I love that. At times it catches me out, especially if you're going around a corner when it happens. Right, the equipment we've got is just the 2 tractors. I might want another one later. And if so, we'll decide what we're going to get then. It won't be the right old stuff. It won't be the John Deere Model A. And here's where I decided to bring GPS up, because I just got a little bit fed up with trying to keep a straight line, which I find absolutely impossible. There's a surprise. I'm not the world's best at this type of thing. I just enjoy doing it all. And I decided I was going to cut this edge again, because that hedge there is quite close. And And I may be cutting some of these fields as slightly different. See how it goes on the first year, how much money we make. And as for the fields, 11's got a barley in, because, as I explained before, barley is actually the best price of the grains. Forget canola, it's not the best price, not by the time you pay for the seed and that putting it in, and the extra time it takes. Barley is probably the best price. So that's going to go into 11. 10 is going to have wheat, and 8 will have canola. I decided here that perhaps I should be sensible and just go one way. And I'm actually waiting for Jack to finish, so he can take over here, and I'm going to go and seed the canola or the rape over onto 8. This is where I find that you need to be a little bit closer to the centre line before you move GPS too far. Yeah. And actually, I should have went on to the next line up, without moving it, but before someone shouts. You look behind you and see why, because we have a furrow showing, and we've got no furrow further in. Right, I'm going to be making these in bits. This one is only about 3 or 4 different bits which are stuck together, glued together, but on some of them it's going to be 2 or 3 days, especially when things get a little bit slower, and it will. The busy times is now and autumn when we're harvesting. The rest of the time, summer and winter, are going to be quite quiet. I'm running, for those who are interested in the technical details, I'm running version 1.1.0.0 of Seasons. That took some remembering. And I'm also running the Wales Geo. I'm using the Wales one because it should be in slightly warmer weather, less snow, but expense of a hell of a lot more rain. Snow I like seeing, but I don't want to have everything stopped through the winter because of snow. I was going to use the Midwest one, but that means I can't use sugar beet, and I will be growing sugar beet once we get enough fields together. I will be growing all the palatable crops, which is the just the basic crops. There's no extras, but I will, before I go on any further, recommend this map to anybody who wants a nice map. Play it with the equipment you're given, and it's quite a challenge. Play it on hard, and which is what I'm doing. I always play my maps on hard. I don't play on easy ever, and very, very occasionally on normal, but I normally play on hard. Isn't I enjoy the grind, I just enjoy actually having a little bit of a challenge. Which is why when Farmer Klein came up with this idea, I jumped at the chance of joining in. And you'll see, if you watch YouTube a lot, you will see a lot of the people from PCSG and Free Dude doing this challenge, all on different maps. You pick your map. You pick the way you want to play, and you go and play as long as you're on 24-day seasons. There we are. Was it 96 days a year? And before someone shows, no, I know you shouldn't go cut across like that with the cultivator still down, because it's going to break the tines off. I know, but does that ever stop me? I'm going to make them about 30 to 40 minute videos. Just film all the details in now. And I'm sure we'll probably repeat this in every video there. Yes, and get back to Newbie Farm. This is a great farm. There's everything you want on here. unless you want extra crops of course, but or fruit types. If you want a standard map, which is quite a good challenge, pick this. You start with these 3 fields, 8, 10 and 11, needing to be ploughed. I can't remember what equipment Roy gives you to plough with. That won't be anything very big. I'm going to play a little non-reversible plough, I should imagine, the smallest one. I know what I think Stu called him sadistic. Another of those sadistic map makers, I think he called him. He's not sadistic. He just likes giving us a bit of a challenge. And who can blame him? As you see, I'm also running no tab, although I will be putting all the equipment into the group switcher, Deckers group switcher mod, which will mean I can tab from one to the other using that. But that will only be in dire emergencies, and I will not be using reset unless things really do go badly awry. Little rules I made for myself, if it isn't hard enough already. And I think Jack's almost finished. As you see, we come up to lunchtime too in the game day. And remember on, oh, there we go again. Stop your stone dead. Those little flashes will come up. It's a pity they can't use the same system as several mod makers and just put a ticker tape across the top so you can see it repeating across the top and not just stop you stone dead. Well, that's my little grumble out of the way. Well, we got we're about a third of the way or quarter of the way through this field, I suppose. It takes a long time on this. You see Jerry Grizzly Bear Sims using the big stuff. You'll see 1 or 2 others using small stuff, and also join PCSG, go to clubs, look at the 24-hour challenge, and this is a bit later. I have we've got to rain, and I have actually swapped over with Jack. Jack is finishing off cultivating, and I have got the seeder. As you see, it's raining, but I'm going to seed anyway in the rain. We've got the oil seed rape, or the canola, on board, and we've got another old piece of kit, an old Hassia seeder. Not certain what I was doing there. On the back, no PTO needed. It runs off the wheel, so you can't run it very fast. Hence, I just slowed it down to 4 to 5 mile an hour, which is possibly slightly too quick. I will warn you, you will be seeing a lot of stuff in the Massey pack here on this series. Basically, as it is 70s and 80s stuff. And there we go. We're going to pick up GPS again. And I reckon even after my warning that I will be using it, someone's gonna come. Most probably Stu, I should imagine. Saying how far ahead of my time I am, having GPS back in the 80s. As you can see, it's now starting to get dark, which it does at this time of the year. It gets dark early. As my old man used to say, it gets late early this time of the year. And the beeping that you can hear is, I've got Proceed on here. Not that it really matters with this equipment, but if I get equipment later which can fertilise as well as seed, I will want to turn the fur off on some of them at times. I am going to try to avoid putting tram lines in. Yes, I know that looks good, but the size of fields, I am not using tram lines unless I'm forced. Hence but in muck down, it's two fertilisers there. One as you spread the muck on, and one as you work the muck into the land. I would plough, I think, plough or cultivator, and that gives you this second layer. I'll be putting the third layer on as soon as I've sown the field. Using this tractor with the skinny tyres, I will spread another load of fertiliser on. I can't remember if I picked up the fert sprayer. I don't think I did. I think I will have to use the spreader for now and get the fert sprayer later. And that fertiliser sprayer is the one that Darren Cassell kindly modded a mod for me. So it's no way anybody can get a hold of that, a copy of that. I won't be lent out of my site, to make it smaller, and also to put in row crop wheels, narrow wheels on it, so it doesn't damage the crop. And you see this old house here. I quite like this cedar. It's been on Mod Hub a long time. You look, I think it's in beta, and you look back somewhere near the beginning of the beta stuff to find it, and it's a nice little cedar. And I've actually got a second one which I've converted badly to accept row crop crops, seed types. You know, your maize, sugar beet, sunflower, and it looks all I've done is just change the crops in there and just change the colour very slightly. That's about as far as my modding ability goes. And I will mention, whilst we're on it, got a little bit of time, we're still got the collection going for Johnny V to get him a new computer. Johnny, a good friend, and a good friend of Icelandic Farmers. The pair of them have been multiplying together for quite a while now, but Johnny can no longer do it. He's not in the best of health, so it's his main hobby is this, and he's also a very good map maker and map improver. Sanofka Knot, which I've featured on this channel and still doing one every now and again, update one, because I'm still playing it. It's one of his. Westbridge Forest on 15, I got about 500 hours on that before Old Ridge came out. Old Ridge took over, then Old Ridge trumped everything for me on 15. Not everybody's cup of tea, but it's mine. Now, I'm making a real pig's ear of this because it's starting to get dark now. I'm beginning to think perhaps I should just pack up now. I'm getting lower seed too, 107 units left. Can't see how much. Oh, I don't know, that's still 50%, isn't it? You've got to get used to using the small stuff again. And poor Rosie, our paranoid cat, won't go back onto her bed now, even though I have put a new bed up here for her. After being sick on it, she thinks she's going to get wrong if she goes too close to it again. Yes, that cat is paranoid. We have some strange animals. We have this paranoid cat. We have one that thinks it's human. One which is, it looks like he's asleep all the time, but he's about the best hunter of lot. The young male, who's a trainee of Jake the hunter, and Alice, who's a law unto herself. She thinks everybody should bow down to her. Certainly other cats should. Just like animals, personally, myself and my wife, we used to keep X-rays and greyhounds, retired greyhounds, till we had 3 3 of them died within 12 months, and that knocked us for 6, and we decided then that possibly enough was enough. We'd try something else. Well, they're all going to die anyway, let's face it. But 2 of them were young dogs, or relatively young dogs, which didn't help. Now, 20 to 5 time in game, it's dark. It is getting dark, especially with these conditions. It's the beauty of seasons. The conditions also make a big change to the light. If we get a foggy day, you see what I mean. Everything looks dull and grey. Now I see that Jack's still cultivating. He must be getting on fairly well that field. Still got 1 to cultivate here. We'll carry on with 11 on the next day. I will carry on seeding. I may come in and show a little bit of that. I will, I'll take a short bit of the footage of that. But you can see now we are starting to get down on the seed. I just noticed me sound that me volume's going down. I'm moving further and further away from the microphone. Not very professional. I decided there, I've actually put that on to hired help. Yes, we haven't got hired help, but we have to pay for it anyway, so I thought I will, just to see how Jack's doing over the way. I'm interested. Oh yeah, he's getting on quite nicely. And I do like that track Massey 200C. It's a nice tractor, and of course it's more powerful than its brake horsepower because it is tracked. It's got a good grip on the land, and it turns on a 6-months. Oh, for Americans it turns on a dime. I get back because we're down to 18% seed left in the hopper over here. At least I've got a mile on this one. I know a lot of the time on here on Jack I didn't. No, I took over, needs refilling. So I bring it up the hill, back onto the farm to refill this. And we're getting close to the end now, and I think we're not going to go back onto the field now. It's just going to be too dark. And the cattle are going to need to be cleaned up. I don't think I'm going to put the table manners on here. I did think about it, to be honest, but I don't think so. And there's my pink pickup. As you can see that a mile away. Real men have pink. Now if we fill this up again, and we'll probably have to go and get some more seed before we're done. And if you might just see them on the shed behind, what's coming on the left hand side, we've got hay and straw bales in there, and I decided to park up there now. We're not gonna do anything else today. So we shut down and have a look. Put my torch on, and I think I ought to go and do the eggs. Now this is where I get lost. I thought I'd shovel this. I go down here now, if you look at the little map, completely the wrong way, and I think I'm just about to twig this is completely the wrong way. As you say, you can't put it where it isn't. My ability to get lost is fairly well known. But you can see the yard here. This is a good sized yard. This is a very nice map. I'm looking forward to playing on this for quite a while. Well, I have to just to get a year done on this. And we hop over here, go and pick the eggs up. And you notice that some of the chickens are clever and they manage to lay on top of the posts. There's one up ahead of us. I haven't yet discovered where we sell eggs. Mind you, that will be a job for the summer, I think, selling eggs. Don't ask me how we're going to keep the eggs until the summer. You have to suspend disbelief when you play these type of things. And some of the chickens decided, oh, I've just seen one I missed, but I didn't see it in game. But they do tend to lay in the bottom of this hedge. And I think we're just about coming to the end, so I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. If you like what you saw, please consider leaving a like. If you're not a subscriber and wish to see more of this mayhem, please subscribe. And with that, it's me saying cheerio for now. Cheerio.